Oh no, don't start. Oh no, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready for that. I have the absolute worst memory in the world when it comes to remembering to do things. Order laundry, what does that even mean? I feel like it means pick up my dry cleaning, but for some reason it says order laundry. The name alone just makes me happy. Ow. Orange dust in my eyes. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. New year. New us being productive. Today, we wanted to take you on a little journey into some things that we use pretty much every day, definitely every week, that make our lives a lot better. I asked in a video recently if you guys would be interested in what apps we use video, and the consensus was pretty much yes. I cannot tell you guys how much I get asked how I edit my Instagram photos, so in today's video, I am gonna answer that question. And a lot of you also wanna know how we design rooms when we do room makeovers, so I can also dive into that today. Sit back, relax, maybe grab your smart device so that you can follow along and download the apps as you go. I'm really excited to be sharing these with you because honestly, sometimes I just catch myself ranting about an app and I'm like, who am I? And also I should probably make a YouTube video so I can stop subjecting all my friends to me. Get excited about over the apps that I'm using. But before we get to that, I need one thing from you. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. In 2020, we are trying so hard to make it to 2 million. And if you wanna be a part of that journey, please subscribe. Also, I just want to note that no apps are sponsoring this video. Everything that we mentioned we're just really excited about, so this is a sponsor-free video. So hopefully you watch that ad before the video started. Or in the middle, you can watch that one too. Let's get into it. I feel like that's such a YouTuber sentence. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first category we're gonna jump right into is productivity, because I think that's one of the most useful things about obviously having a phone is being able to keep yourself organized with them. So whenever someone asks me what's my most used app, the first thing that automatically comes to my mind is an app called Clear. I have tried out so many different list making apps and organizing apps, and I always come back to this one because it is so basic. It's like the most simple you could get besides the Notes app on your phone. So when you open the app, it just looks like this. It's very blank. They give you a nice quote to inspire you. And all it is you just double tap to make a to-do list item. So let's say I wanna do grocery shopping and I put it on there. And then maybe something else I wanna do is remember to offload my camera. And then maybe something else I wanna not forget is to pack that hat that I need for a video tomorrow. All you do is just type them in there, and then once you've done the thing, you just swipe to get rid of it. It's so simple. And I have the absolute worst memory in the world when it comes to remembering to do things. So instead of having to remember like 5 different things to do, all I have to remember to do is check this app. So before I go to bed, I put everything I need to remember in my Clear app, or like during the day and I'm like, oh yeah, I have to remember to do that tomorrow. I put it in the Clear app. And then first thing in the morning, every morning I check my Clear app and just see what's on the list and swipe off things that I've done or remember to do. It's that simple, because I cannot keep up with apps that are too confusing to use and require too much different input. This is so basic, it's literally been life-changing, and I don't think I could live without that app. So for productivity, something that I need to do to make sure that I'm not feeling overwhelmed, because a lot of things can happen in a day. I feel like there's so many different aspects of my life, from like working on my home to just everyday TheSorryGirls business to just making sure that my life is on schedule and that my parking tickets are paid and that my license is renewed, whatever it might be. The best way for me to not feel overwhelmed is to actually write these down. So it's not quite journaling, it's kind of more just planning. But yeah, I'll show you what I do. So I grab my iPad, I use the app called Good Notes. I don't know I think this one you have to pay for, but it's a one-time fee, not a subscription, which is usually a little bit easier to handle. You can see here that I have my different notebooks, a journal, TheSorryGirls work, general YouTube biz, but the one I use every day is the everyday journal. So you can see this template I actually found, I don't know by who. I bought it off of Etsy. I will link it in the description down below. And I did a lot of work trying to find a template that worked for me. Sometimes they had things on there like that either just weren't cute or I didn't need. So I found this one and I think it works super well for me. So let me go back to a day
that's maybe a little bit more filled out. Order laundry, what does that even mean? I feel like it means pick up my dry cleaning, but for some reason it says order laundry. I feel like I'm a nerd now. I'm like, wake up at this time, but I literally need to know that so when I'm setting my alarm at night. But here I can just write down things that I have to do, my schedule for the day. I can just stay organized. Let's make one together. So you can see I have a hair appointment. I have to work with my contractor to get the vanity for my house. What else do I need to do? Oh yeah, I definitely need to go for a run. So sometimes I just write things over here under additional tasks so that I know that I need to schedule them in for the day. I need to pick up my laundry. Actually, I'm gonna try to do that tonight. Today is Friday. Hang out with my friends. Yeah, I do need to print a new parking pass. Also need to, on my way home, I need to drop off accounting. This is so boring, but whatever. So yeah, it's just about getting things out of here onto here. It helps me feel more organized and be more organized. I definitely do it before bed so that I know if I have to like wake up early or pack something. I try to do that kind of like the night before.
Okay, so Kelsey shared with you her favorite app on the iPad for making lists. I have one of my own that I really love, and this one is Penultimate. I know the name's a little bit corny. But this is basically just a note making app and has so many great features. So if you open it up, you can have different notebooks, and in the notebooks you can have different notes. If you see here, I have like a ton of different notes, and I use this more for like if I need to write specific lists for like a specific thing, as opposed to making like a daily list of things to do, which I use my Clear app for that. So for example, I just did a bedroom makeover video, and here I just wrote out, excuse my terrible writing, like everything that I needed to film and the order in which I needed to do it, and then I crossed it out when I did it, which actually this video is done. So let's just highlight the rest of this stuff. Done, 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 done. Anyways, you get it. And then another great feature that I love for this is being able to paste photos into the notes and then draw over them. So for example, this was a trip I went on a long time ago, and they had provided me with a packing list to go off of. So I just pasted their photo of the suggested packing list, and then over top of it, I was able to write like if I had gotten everything, you know what I mean? Like crossed out, yeah, I got that, I got that, I got that. That just saved me from having to rewrite everything in this. So that's why I love Penultimate. Oh, also, it syncs up with Evernote, so if you have Evernote on your phone or your computer, you can easily see all your handwritten notes there, which makes it easy to access because I don't bring this guy everywhere I go. Okay, next up for organization and productivity for me is Pinterest. This might not be one that you think of being like a very helpful organizational app, but for me, it totally is. I like my Pinterest boards are everything, and I would be totally lost without them. So I basically use Pinterest to categorize everything. I'm an extremely visual learner, so seeing everything I have and want to remember in photos is so helpful for me. So if we open up my Pinterest page, I have so many boards about different things. So I have one called Make, which is literally just inspo photos of like DIYs that I want to do one day. I've got obviously ones that are inspo for like home decor and fashion and style. So some other useful boards I have though are like food boards, like lunch boards. So I've got like things that I can remember to make easy for lunch. I have one for dinner that really helps me out when I'm like, what do I want to do for dinner? Slow internet is slow. And instead of having like a list or trying to remember, I just load up this board, look at all these things and say, what looks yummy tonight? What do I want to make? I've got a wellness board, which is literally just like, you know, workout exercises in photos. If I ever don't know what to do, I have this backed up on Pinterest. So I kind of like organize my entire life based on my Pinterest boards. Love Pinterest.
I want to say that I also love Pinterest. I've been using it a lot for my home renovation. It's hard to come up with good ideas unless you're inspired by something, so I've been loving Pinterest. Also follow me, also follow the Sorry Girls.
Okay, for my favorite fitness app, I used to not have a favorite one because I had problems with all of them, but now that I found this one, it's definitely my fave, and this one is called Active. It's like active, but an app. We get it. And the reason I love this app is because it works really well for people that have a gym membership. I have a gym membership, and I found that so many of the workout apps were designed to help you work out without any equipment, which is great for a lot of people, but because I was already paying to go to a gym, I wanted an app that would tell me to use the services at the gym that I was also paying for as well. So this one, you can search for like certain things, like for example, treadmill workouts, or you can search for like elliptical workouts or stair climber workouts. And some of their just total body workouts involve like machines too at the gym, or dumbbells or kettlebells or those kind of things. And the way this app works is basically it's kind of like a podcast in a way, where someone talks to you through the whole workout to keep you motivated and tell you what to do and tell you to move on to whatever activity you're doing next in your workout. The app will tell you how long it is, if it's a beginner, an intermediate, or a difficult workout. It'll tell you what kind of music you're listening to while you're gonna do the said workout. Honestly, no complaints. The only thing is I do believe you have to pay a monthly membership fee to have this app, but I think it's worth it.
So something that I have been doing fitness-wise is running. I recently signed up for a 10K in May, so now I'm doing couch to 10K. So you can see here I'm on, oh my God, I'm on week 5. That's so exciting. The great thing about the app is just it teaches you how to run if you are not great at running, which is me. I definitely used to hate running, and I'm getting better at it. Like 100%, I'm getting better at it. I can run for longer, I'm less tired. It's going great. So you can see here, this is like my schedule. What, 5-minute run, 3-minute walk, 6-minute run, 3-minute walk. It's not crazy, but as you go along, the runs get longer, the walks get shorter, and eventually I will be able to run 5K. If you want to take up running, I would recommend it. I think it is a purchase. It's a one-time purchasino. You buy it once and then you're done, and then you run 10K and you're really proud of yourself.
Okay, next up on the list is apps we use to help us design. We have a couple faves here, and easily probably our most fave one is an app called Procreate. This is an app that we use on the iPad, and it's basically the easiest app to draw and paint and design in. I do believe this app costs money to buy, but once you have it, it doesn't have a subscription fee. It's like a one-time purchase, which is amazing. I prefer that over charging me every month if I had the choice. So one way we use Procreate I'm gonna talk you through is doing fun Instagram edits. I posted this picture right here a while ago, and so many of you asked how I did it, and it was done in the Procreate app. So all I did was open a photo of my face that I wanted to post on there anyways, and then make a new layer with just a white pencil loaded up. And all I did was honestly just trace over my features in the photo. So for example, we can do a little eyebrow trace. Ooh, girl, she's snatched. Trace over it, my eye. Give me some lashes. There's really no wrong way. Oh, that's creepy. I was gonna say there's no wrong way to do this, but that way was no good. Can do a nose, lips. And then I think what made this photo so cool is that after I drawn this, I offset it a little bit. So now that I have this layer pulled up, I can go and select it and just kind of move it out of the way a little bit. Maybe turn the opacity down a tiny bit, so that it's just this really cool like line drawn over top of my face. And that's how it's done. It's so simple. Then you just go ahead and save the photo and you can post it on Instagram, trick all your friends, make them think that you're really fancy, cool artist designers, and really all it is just some doodles over your face in an app that we love called Procreate.
So this is a question that we've often been asked and have never really addressed, and that is, how do we design rooms and like plan out rooms when we're doing room makeovers? So for the most part, we use like a Photoshop / Procreate process. So if I open up my Procreate here, I actually have a floor plan grid here. Honestly, I downloaded so many apps trying to figure out what the best one is to plan out rooms, and I just found this was the easiest in the end. So we might go to a space and then take some photos and just make sure that we have all the measurements written down so that it's easy to make our plans. So if I open up my Procreate here, so I might know, I just count the squares honestly. So each square might be a foot. Like I might know the room is this big by this big. And I have this feature on that if you hold down, then it does a straight line, which is so amazing. Yeah, and then from there you can kind of just like start drawing in furniture, making it to scale, pulling in reference photos. And a really cool thing about Procreate is that it'll actually replay a video of everything that you did. So actually here you can see all the different layers that I have here. You can kind of turn them off and on just like Photoshop, and they're all just layered in there. It started out the exact same way as the other file that I opened, but this has just come along a lot further. But yeah, you can have a lot of fun with it. And for the most part, that's how we design a room. We just make sure everything's to scale using our little grids and just pull in a bunch of inspo pictures from the internet and draw some stuff, and then it's cute. And we have an idea of what we want the space to look like.
Okay, now onto a more specific discussion about how I personally edit my Instagram photos. This app probably will come to no surprise to most of you, and that is the app of VSCO Cam. This is my favorite app to do things in. It's just very simple to understand and makes it really easy. Although over my lifetime of posting on Instagram, I've tried probably almost every other photo editing app that's out there. I always come back to VSCO because it's just, they just get it right, I find. So let's pull it up. So in the VSCO studio, here I'll show you how I do a photo. That might give you a better idea of how I use the app. So in VSCO, they have a ton of preset filters that are all really great, but my favorite one to use is the A6 filter. What I do is I load it onto a photo, and then I usually find it's a little bit too cool and a little bit too green toned. So I go across to the temperature and I turn it really warm and purple to get rid of the greens. And that is the base for how I edit pretty much all of my photos. From there, I adjust contrast and exposure a little bit to make it, you know, brighter or darker if it needs to be, but for color-wise, that is essentially what I do every time. Myth busted. There's one more app that I want to give a little shout out to just because VSCO doesn't have, I find, like the best overlay filters, and there is an app that I love that does have those things. And this app is called RetroCam. Okay, so I loaded up the photo that we just did in VSCO Cam into RetroCam, and if we go into textures, this offers you a bunch of really good grain options. And then you can just play with the slider to adjust how much or how little grain you want to add to a photo. And then I just think it adds a little bit of extra film touch, makes the photo perfect, export, and she's ready for Instagram.
So remember how I kept saying to my friends I was bragging about apps? Well, this is the app I keep bragging about. It's called Meal Lime, and I use it to help me plan my meals. So I think it's best explained if I just show you. So opening up Meal Lime, I can assemble my next meal plan. There's a bunch of different recipes here, which can be, I guess, kind of basic depending on what you currently use to plan your meals. Yeah, this is one of my favorite meals. But something I love is I can go to the top and I can say build my perfect meal plan. Let's say I want to cook 2 more meals for the week. I say I want to cook 2 more meals based on the meals that I've already chosen, so that would be 4 total. And now it says, hey, guess what? You're using, you know, half a bunch of kale. You're using some of this other ingredient. Well, here are 2 more recipes that will make sure that you have a lower amount of food waste because you're gonna be using up all the ingredients that you're going to be buying. So I can build this meal plan according to being low food waste, only a 2 score instead of like, I guess, 8 or 9. It goes up pretty high. And then when I go to my grocery list, it lists everything together. I don't know if this is revolutionary or not, but I find it so exciting. It's so easy to go shopping because everything's by produce, and I don't have to be like, does this recipe have 1 avocado and does this one have half an avocado? If you have like 3 recipes and they all have 1/4 of an avocado, then you just need to buy 1 avocado. It's amazing. So I love this. It helps me keep me organized, keeps my meals inspired, and essentially lowers some food waste too because I'm choosing meals that work together.
Okay, it should be no surprise to you guys that a lot of us do shopping online and on our phones now, and something I love to do is thrift shop online on my phone. So one of my favorite apps to do this on is Kijiji. I just find that the layout of it is really nice, and there's a lot of people on Kijiji, which means there's a lot of cool things being sold on Kijiji. My biggest hack for this app is to search for brands and specific items you're already looking for, because it can be a little overwhelming to go through everything that's available on there because there is a lot of it. So let's say, for example, hey, we can even see some of my most recent searches. West Elm. I love getting West Elm things on here. There's a lot of people selling them at a really good price versus just buying it straight from the store. So, for example, look at this coffee table. Well, $600 is a little expensive, I will give you that. But there are good deals to be found. Come on, internet, please load for me. Like this person here is listing some West Elm side tables. They look in really good condition for $40 and you get 2 of them. Love that for me. And the best thing about Kijiji is that you are able to save searches. And what that means is every time someone lists an item under the search that you have saved, you'll get an email saying, someone listed something under your search term that you saved, which means you get firsthand notice if like a new West Elm piece, or I'm just using that as an example, a new rattan chair comes up for sale, you'll get a notification for it right away and you can grab it before someone else does. Now, Kijiji has been a long time standing fave for me when it comes to online secondhand shopping, but one that's coming up really close recently in my new faves is Facebook Marketplace. I don't think that I would have ever said this because for the longest time no one was really using Facebook Marketplace, but all of a sudden it has been popping for really good finds. I love that every day they recommend you some things that they know you've been searching for. For example, look at this beautiful teak coffee table that someone's selling. Brand new. Love that. Thank you, Facebook Marketplace, for being another awesome place to find sweet thrift finds. So home decor isn't the only thing I shop online with an app for. Poshmark is my favorite app for shopping for clothing online secondhand. I just find that you can literally find almost anything you're looking for on Poshmark. So let's say, for example, this hat I'm wearing right now. Let's see if we can find it on Poshmark. I'm sure we can. Let's look up Carhartt. Ooh, can I spell this right? Carhartt beanie. Yeah, look, it's literally right there. Someone is selling it. Look at this girl. This girl is me. We're wearing the same hat. This is a super big hack that I do all the time when I'm looking on sites that I love the fashion for, like Free People, but I don't want to buy it new. I always look up the exact item on Poshmark, and honestly, like 9 out of 10 times, someone is selling it secondhand. I don't know if I've just had good luck on this app or it just, there really is everything on there. I would just strongly suggest checking on this app. If there's something you want to buy, see if you can get it secondhand first.
Okay, let's talk about some apps that we use for entertainment. So I'm only gonna briefly touch on it, and that is TikTok. We actually recently started a TikTok. I'm just gonna leave that there to mull over. Honestly, there's a fair share of dancing videos, but I also love how just creative people can get on TikTok. I think that part of it is quite inspiring, and I'm excited to see how we can take like the TikTok trends and do them for DIY, because I think it's pretty exciting. So that's all I have to say about my TikTok. That's my TikTok TED Talk. Short and sweet. Something else I want to actually ask you guys about, and that's podcasts. I love listening to podcasts, but unfortunately, I just haven't really found a podcasting app that I'm in love with. So I'd love to know what podcast app you guys use to listen to your stuff. I find that the Apple Podcast one just like doesn't update properly. When I'm listening to it in my car, it just doesn't work very seamlessly, and I have to always go in and try to find a new episode instead of it telling me there are new episodes. What is that about? But lastly, I want to tell you about something that you maybe haven't heard of. Elevate. If you are listening to me, I want to say that your YouTube ads do work. Feel free to keep investing in YouTube. We love that, because I found this Elevate app through YouTube and I use it. It's a good way to kill time, but I also feel like I'm being productive and actually learning something. So here, I can do my recommended training. Look at all these games we can play and learn about word parts. Okay, tap the correct word. Mind. That means psyche, right? A smaller version of the larger system or world. Small. I find it really interesting because I'm actually learning what makes up a word. So for example, sub means to be a part of, and scribe means to write. So if you want to write that you're a part of this channel, you should subscribe. Sometimes I actually don't even know the word I'm making, but I just know the parts, and then I make a new word. Capable of dying. Mort is die, right? And then, oh, true, obviously. And then we can see how I did. Okay, that one I was like only half paying attention because I'm doing this video, but it's good to see how you're progressing, and there are honestly so many games. I also learned percentages, some good hacks for percentages, but anyways, if you want a brain game, Elevate is your one. It's just, it does cost a little bit of money, honestly. But I think that only makes you play it more, because then you're like, well, I paid for this game, so I need to use it, right? It's kind of like a gym membership.
Okay, so I never got into very many phone app games. I was never a Candy Crusher. Farmville. Was that an app or was that on Facebook? Both. I remember everyone was loving Farmville, but I just need to share with you, because we need a little bit of fun in this video, an app that I absolutely love, and it's just straight up a game. There's nothing else to it. I pretend like it makes me smarter because you have to think to play this game. And this is Happy Glass. The name alone just makes me happy. And the basic gist of this game is you have to draw lines so that your little cup lands the right way around for it to be filled with water. So as you can see, this is our little cup here, our glass. He's unhappy because he doesn't have water in him. So basically the challenge is to draw lines so he falls the right way, so the tunnel that shoots out water will fill the glass. So maybe he tips here. Oh wow, I did that way too perfect. Okay, maybe he tips here and then also here. Oh, okay, you can see this is difficult, but the beginning levels are a bit easier. Oh! And we made a happy glass because he got full of water. As you can see, the game's like super addicting and really fun. And if you need some of that in your life, check out Happy Glass.
If you guys don't already know, I'm pretty passionate about being sustainable, and other than secondhand shopping, Kijiji, Craigslist, these are some of the apps that I use to help me try to be a little bit more sustainable. One of them is Good On You. So if you guys haven't heard of this, it is an app that basically you can search a brand and see how sustainable it is or cruelty-free. So how it treats animals, how it treats humans and the workers, how it treats the environment. There's a bunch of different categories. There's also great articles on here. I've definitely looked at these as far as like how to travel and be eco-friendly, because that's not like a brand that you can search. So yeah, let's see Nike. Great, their rating is, it's a start. I mean, that's definitely better than some brands on here. Oh great, is this similar brands? Okay, that's what you need. Like you need to know, well, what's an active wear that would be a better option. So very interesting. Oh yeah, shoe alternatives. See what I'm saying? They just have so many things that I need to know. I do need to know fair trade alternative to Converse, because my Converse just died and I was not very happy about it. I feel like I only had them for like 2 years and they fell apart. Oh my gosh, I do need new sneakers, so I'm excited. Okay, I'm getting distracted. The other app is probably only relevant to a handful of you, but let me know if this is relevant to you. It is the Toronto Waste app. So this app, if I don't know if something's recyclable or if it can go in a certain bin, I look it up because it's important that we are recycling properly. What's something that I needed to know recently if I could recycle? Styrofoam plate is recyclable, which that's crazy because I thought that was like the most trashy thing ever. But yeah, it is. And you're supposed to rinse your items. Anyways, that one's, I'm sure, super meh for a lot of you, but it's also good to know that if your city has an app like this that will help you recycle properly, that you can download it and use it and make sure that you're using the right bins to help our city and our environment.
Okay, next up we have the financial apps category, and besides the app I use for my online banking, there really only is one app that I love that I want to share with you about finances, and that is the Mint app. This just makes budgeting so easy and organized. Like I told you guys earlier in this video, I am a super visual learner, so seeing things in pictures, I sound like a child, but seeing my finances in pictures really helps me to understand them. That's why I love Mint. So basically you have it hooked up to your banking or your cards basically, and it tracks your spending, and you can make budgets in the apps. So you can set one for groceries, for personal spending, for what else do you spend money on? DIY supplies. And then throughout the month, you can see this kind of bar filling up with the money you're spending towards it. And the best thing about this app is for most things, it already knows what category they fall into. For example, if you go to Tim Hortons to get a coffee, it probably already knows that that restaurant is categorized under restaurant or fast food or coffee shops, whatever you have labeled for your budget. And then you can watch that bar kind of fill up over the month to see how much you're spending. And they also have this awesome little pie chart which shows you where your money is going to every month, so you can visually see where your money is going each month in the different categories. It just makes things like that super easy to understand and help you stay on track if budgeting is something that you do.
An app that I really like to use in the financial category is Splitwise. I think this is basically budget hack version of Venmo. We don't have Venmo here in Canada. So Splitwise is an app that you can use to keep track of what you owe your friends and family. If you go out with your friends or family, you can just say like, throw it on the Splitwise, and then you just add it into there. You can sort things by you paid for the whole thing and they owe you all the money, or here, let's do an expense. My dad owes me for being a great dad. That's $1. You know what? My dad paid it, and he is owed the full amount of that $1. And then I know I need to owe my dad $1. Just kidding. I think that's worth a lot more than that. That's priceless. Honestly, I get really frustrated when I'm out with people and you're like at the table and you're trying to figure out bills and stuff like that. It's like, if it's possible, we do this a lot, just one person pays for it, they get their credit card points, and then afterwards they just put it on Splitwise. It's like the perk is you get the credit card points or the cash back, whatever, and the con is that then you have to go in there and add it to Splitwise and make sure that everybody pays you back. But it makes our nights out a lot more smooth and we don't have to figure out bills and stuff like that.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something in this video.
I know that I found it pretty helpful personally, like learning about Becky's process.
If there is a must-have app that you want us to know about or you want the internets to know about, please leave it in the comments below, because we're all about learning and knowledge sharing. So thanks so much for hanging out with us today, and if you like this, consider subscribing.
We will see you in our next video. Bye!